made, we need to go back to our mission critical, that we need to focus on every child getting the best education that we can. We're responsible for what happens in the schools. I agree with that. And, you know, sometimes you read the newspaper or if you listen to what people say at this podium, you think that the only thing going on in Norwalk was people having race-based arguments about stuff. So, since none of the speakers apparently wanted to talk about any of the actual substantive things going on in the school, I will. Here's from the recent report that Manny Rivera submitted just before he departed. In the last 2 years or so, we developed a comprehensive and viable strategic plan to make sure Norwalk students are college and career ready. We approved a new K-5 literacy strategy that is continuing to roll out. With the addition of a second site focused on early literacy, we're nearly doubled the number of students in summer school programs this year. We are developing standards of excellence to guide our schools and the work of our school leaders. We hired full-time curriculum and instruction site directors for each of our elementary schools, partially funded by a major grant, and filled other key positions with highly qualified people. We opened the state of Connecticut's first P-Tech model school with IBM, the Norwalk Early College Academy at Norwalk High School, and have other programs in the design and development phase, including the International Baccalaureate program for Brian McMahon High School. We reorganized the special education department to better serve students and families. We made wireless technology available in all schools, deployed more than 4,500 Chromebooks to all grade levels, and went live with a new parent portal and mobile app. We established new ways to communicate with families, including a new website, email blasts, enhanced reverse phone message system, and we established a social media presence on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, with tapes of all of our board meetings available on the YouTube channel. We've begun work on a facilities utilization study that will help the schools plan for the future. In addition to those things that we've already done, here's some of the things that we're working on right now. We've retained ProAct Search, the same search firm that brought us Dr. Rivera, to help us with a new search for a superintendent of schools. The applications closed last Friday. We'll be getting our initial report from ProAct on candidates at the end of next week. We completed the community outreach process in connection with that, and we hope to make a new superintendent selection hopefully during May. On budgets, we submitted the smallest budget increase in many years this year, despite increasing staff and adding programs. As everyone knows, this budget was endorsed by Mayor Rilling and the Council. It has now been approved by the Board of Estimate and Taxation. A few years ago, this school system was running multi-million-dollar deficits and laying off dozens of people and having marches at City Hall with placards. Now we're generating surpluses, adding staff, and increasing programs. The $230,000 facility study I just mentioned. We are spending about $2.5 million on making security enhancements that will be done during the next year, with several major contracts having been approved by the Council, including things like closed-circuit television cameras at all of the schools and a variety of other security enhancements, including target hardening of the schools to make them harder for people to break into. This is the first year where we have adopted and are putting in place a new system of teacher and administrator evaluations, which for the first time will specifically include student achievement as 45% of those evaluations. With support from GE, we are moving forward with a plan to establish school governance councils of principals, teachers, and parents at all 19 schools. They exist at about a half a dozen schools now. The objective by the end of the year is to have these established at all 19 of our schools to significantly increase parental and community involvement in our schools. And those councils will be primary leaders in implementing the new school quality and leadership standards. I already mentioned the International Baccalaureate program being set up at Brian McMahon. We are going through the high school accreditation process for both Norwalk High and Brian McMahon, and we're making great progress in working towards their re-accreditations by NEASC, the New England Association of Schools and Colleges. This comprehensive process requires a top-to-bottom review of each school's practices and development of long-term plans for success at our high schools. And a number of the Board of Education members spent a Sunday afternoon participating in that process, taking time away from our families. In addition to expanding the school governance councils, we are working with the NFT on the aforementioned Literacy for Parents program. We are deepening our relationship with Norwalk Acts, an umbrella organization that brings together almost 60 of Norwalk's organizations that support children in their educational needs from cradle to career. Our interim superintendent, James Connolly, who we brought in place in record time, is working to maintain the momentum of these initiatives in our strategic plans. The permanent superintendent we bring in this summer can keep them moving. Some comments were made about that it was despicable what's happening in the Norwalk schools. What's despicable is making a statement like that about the teachers and the staff and the students in our school system. Expulsions, for instance, and problems like this, largely through the intervention of State Representative Morris and the programs that he's initiated in our school system, are down substantially, as are other kinds of disciplinary actions for our students. And every student group in this city, including African American students, has seen their test scores in mathematics and English steadily rising for several years. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we've been working on the Board of Education. And I'm confident that that will remain our focus going forward.
That's a good thing.